Hello and welcome, everyone. Happy Sunday. It is the 17th episode of the Die, Laugh, Love podcast. I want to thank everyone for bringing their energy and bringing their hearts and bringing their love to this collective experience that we're sharing. Again, I see some familiar faces. I see some new faces. Whether you've been on these episodes before, whether they are something that is new to you, again, I want to thank you for this. And whenever somebody steps into time with me, I always ask them to do two things for me, and that is to lower your expectations and to bring a sense of humor. Low expectations, high sense of humor are a really great way to get through life in general, but especially when you're sitting with a guy like me. The past few episodes, the past few sessions that I've done here have been pretty rough. I'm just going to say it like that. They have been deep, they've been heavy, they've been full of grief, they've been full of regret and apologies from spirit. And that takes a toll on me. You know, the work that I do when I sit with folks, here's a little bit of my grandmother's French. Whenever I sit with an individual or when I sit with a group of people, I become the sacred bullshit hunter. And what I mean by that is if you have bullshit in your heart or bullshit in your life, spirit will see it as an opportunity to walk you away from it. They always come through with your best interest in mind. And I want to remind everybody here that that's what we'll be doing today. Whether we are talking to our ancestors, our beloved dead, or talking to other spirits. Now, when I step into this position and something that I've learned along the way, this is going to be new and interesting to, I think, a lot of people. Person that does what I do usually has a helping spirit on the other side, helping to coordinate this. And I'll give you an example of what that looks like. When I first started to do this, and I first started to do big live group events, I would be guided and directed to a certain individual in the crowd. I would give them a reading, and then I would be directed to another individual in the crowd. That was not by my choice. That was being directed by a higher power and a higher spirit. Why I offer these sessions for free. I do this every 10 days or so, and I do it for free. I don't charge anybody any money for it because to me, this is a devotional act. I am a believer in the great spirit, creator God. I do believe that at the very foundation of that energy is love. I do believe in this world that we are sharing together, there's an incredible amount of suffering, whether in our personal lives, collectively in our communities, what have you. To offer this as a service to my community is a devotional act to the loving energy that I feel devoted to. Now, again, I keep it non-denominational for everybody. Now, that helping spirit that is in the world of spirit, in the unseen spirit, also works with me as a devotional act to that creative energy. So think about this. How many people here have devoted themselves to love, whether in their career, whether in their family, whether in their community, whether spiritually or professionally, what have you? There are spirits, including saints in the world of spirit, that will help us individually do the work here. Oftentimes, the angelic energies or the greater human spirits that are in the world of spirit will help us. They don't need acknowledgement, they don't need appreciation, they don't need anything of that sort. I bring this up because I've had a conversation with my spirits. And again, I plan on doing this for as long as I can absolutely maintain doing this. The last few sessions have been, like I said, rough. A lot of apologies, a lot of regret, a lot of big concepts. And I don't want to look at that as a negative, but I want to look on the other side of the grief, of the pain, of the turmoil that we have in our hearts, that we have in our minds, that everybody inevitably is going to have. And I want to tell you where this podcast came from. The very beginning, the reason why I came up with this podcast. This might trigger some folks. Not a huge fan of that word, but I want to tell you where this is coming from. I am surrounded by a lot of people who are not happy with where America is, where the United States is, the president, the administration, the election, and all of that. For so long, through different administrations and through different presidents, as I have done this work, Spirit has given me a term, and I know many of you have heard this term before. That term, and I use it all the time, is vitamin joy. If there is a term that I could be known for, a term that people would remember me by, it would be this. The reason why I say this to everybody is whether you're happy with what's going on in the world, whether you're not, whether you're pleased with what's going on in America, whether you're not, individually, we are all going to have pain, turmoil, trauma, stress cross our paths. Whether it's collectively in our family, in our community, in our country, we're all going to have it. Suffering and chaos has been with us always. It will remain so. The best way to endure it is to actively seek out your joy, to actively take a vitamin to stay healthy. In the same way that we need to take vitamins and minerals for our body to fight off old age, infirmity, illness, we must actively seek joy. Actively seek joy. Because here's the thing about this human condition that we all share. The pain, the turmoil, the trauma, the stress, it's all going to cross your path. It's all going to walk into your house uninvited. You don't have to go anywhere for it. It's going to come find you. Joy, however, it doesn't. Your vitamin joy is something that you must take. It's like your body doesn't develop vitamin C. You have to take vitamin C every day to stay healthy. You have to pursue joy. But this episode, this time together, is a vitamin joy episode. It is a vitamin joy episode, and I want to bring joy through these readings to everybody here. So this isn't going to be the standard channel the dead, deliver the apologies, deliver the connection. My intention here is to bring joy to everybody. Okay? Now, my question for you, and there's a preamble to all of this, so I'm going to get into this. There's a lot that I have to bring to everybody here. I want to ask you, what kind of world do you want to live in? This is my question. What kind of world do you want to live in? Now, some people I see on this call are friends with me on Facebook. You will see that I don't often post political stuff because I don't want to participate in increasing the amount of outrage that is in the world. I don't want to. I stay educated, I stay aware, I have my values, but I'm not spewing outrage and anger through social media channels. I like to bring love, I like to bring humor, I like to bring beauty, I like to bring art, because I want to live in a world that's fun, funny, beautiful, humorous, full of art. I want that to be our world. And even with our efforts on social media, we have to be mindful that the energies that we're putting out there, the messages that we're putting out there, are having an impact on other people. For example, I have had to unfollow very well-meaning people who are doing nothing but spewing outrage into the world. And I'm like, I get it. I get it. You need to do something to get it out of your system, but you don't have an inkling as to the frustration and pain that you're contributing to. So I'm going to invite you to consider what kind of world you want to live in. Do you want to live in a world of beauty, of art, of music, of humor? And whether it's on social media or not, what are you doing to bring that world about? Because just like the joy, it's not going to fall in your lap. Another reason why I do this, because I want people to find peace. I want people to find healing. I want people to find connection. That is a reason why I'm doing this as often as I do it. Now, another message that I have to bring to folks, again, you might be happy with what's going on in America. You might be disgusted with what's going on in America. I'm going to invite you to do something. I'm going to invite you to do your damnedest not to hate your neighbor. Okay? And I bring that up for a reason because so many people are exposed to people with opposing viewpoints. I have to ask you how you're responding to those who have opposing viewpoints. Are you, through a place of love and compassion and a duty or a sense of obligation to your community, hating people? I may not agree with many of my neighbors, but I will never hate them. I will never, ever hate them because I do not want to live in a world full of hatred. The amount of people that I see hating conservatives and MAGA Republicans, and the amount of people that I see hating liberals, it breaks my heart every single day. And I want to encourage everybody here to do your damnedest not to participate in the divisionary tactics that are intentionally being thrown in our lap. So, what kind of world do you want to live in? When I said that suffering has always been with us, chaos has always been with us, it will always be with us. There are truly evil people in this world. There will always be evil people as long as humanity is around. But here's why I got into this work in the first place. And many of you might not know this part of my story. I got into this work because I took a DNA test that fascinated me so much that I signed up for Ancestry.com. And I started to build family trees. I started to find out about my ancestors. I started to find out about the lives they led. And that process changed me in a really fundamental way. Because no matter what your political beliefs are, here is what we all have in common. We all come from people who were strong, and we all come from people who endured great suffering. Every single one of us comes from farmers and fighters, people who fought opposing regimes, people who had to grow calories out of the ground, people who were terrified of hailstorms that wiped out potato crops. When you are having a bad day, no matter what is falling across your lap, I want you to remember that you live in the age of miracles. I want you to consider what your great, great, great grandmother would have done for a goddamn roll of paper towels. Seriously, a roll of paper towels that you take for granted, your grandmother would have given her left kidney for. Because we live in a world of miracles, and don't ever forget that. Those ancestors struggled, many of them, to make sure that you could see this day. And I lean into all of the gifts that they gave me. I lean into everything that I can about myself to honor those ancestors who got me here. But here's another part of that. I know those ancestors did not suffer through the Civil War, through World War II, through the fall of the Roman Empire to get me here so I could be a miserable prick. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. We have to be mindful of what we are consuming for media, for books, for TV, for commercials, for social media, because they all have an effect on our mind and our heart. This is why not only should you consume vitamin joy, you should do your damnedest to become it. You should do what you can to bring joy to other people. I'll tell you, I wake up every morning and I'm like, let me go find a ridiculous meme. Let me go find something that might put a smile on somebody's face because there is enough doom and gloom out there in the world. Be careful that you're not contributing to it. And I want you to remember those ancestors, those parents, those grandparents, those great grandparents that are watching you. Because one of the things that we might not remember, and I want to encourage everybody to do your best to remember this, is that this life of ours is temporary. And this earth of ours is a place that we're supposed to enjoy ourselves. A temporary place that you go to where you're supposed to enjoy yourself is defined as a vacation. This temporary earthly life that we are on is a vacation. When we die, we go home. The people that are at home that watch over us are watching most of us take ourselves and our lives and our place in this world far too seriously. How many of us, on a scale of 1 to 10, can call our anxiety an 8, 9, or 10? All while you have running water and electricity and antibiotics and the internet and YouTube and music and art and so much. As much as you might be disappointed with what's going on around you, you still live in a world of beauty and you still have plenty of access to joy. You absolutely do. But do not fall for the intentional propaganda that will cause you to hate your neighbor. Whether you're in Ireland, a Protestant that hates the Catholics, or the Catholics that hate the Protestants, or now you're in America where you are a liberal that hates the MAGA faction, or a Donald Trump supporter who hates the libtards. It's all ridiculous. And if you get caught up in that hate, you will waste your one precious life. You absolutely will. So before I jump into the readings, I want to remind you of what Spirit calls the law of practicality. If there's something in your life that is bothering you, ask yourself if there is anything that you can do to remove yourself from it. Is there anything that you can do to do anything about it? If there is, do it. If there's not, learn to live with it. Be practical in the way that you are handling the stress and the turmoil, and make sure that you are getting your vitamin joy. Because if you're deficient in it, you will become jaded and bitter and judgy and hateful. And these readings today, I am going to pop around and I'm going to bring people, 7 people here, readings. And I can't say that they're going to be ancestral readings. I can't say that they're going to be anything connected to your dead or your loved ones in spirit. But I will say that they do come through from that helping spirit of mine that is also devoted to the love that is the foundation of our reality. There's also something that I want to do here that folks will have never seen me do before. So, what I want you to do for me in this moment, as you're watching my screen, as you're hearing my voice, I want you to consider for a moment the thing in your life, the heartache, the stress, the turmoil, the pain. I want you to put a name to it. Is it regret? Is it shame? Is it guilt? Is it fear? Is it anxiety? I want you to think of the thing that you want to get rid of, that you'd like to be free of, the thing that you want peace around. Now, here's a visual aid, because this is what I want you to do. I have right here a bowl of water, a white bowl of water. And as you are looking at this bowl of water, I want you to consider dumping your pain into it. Whether you hear this podcast 10 months from now, or whether you're participating in it live, I want you to look at this bowl of water that I'm going to take and I'm going to dump it out on the ground after I'm done here. But I want you to think of the pain, the turmoil, the regret, the shame, the guilt, the grief, whatever it is in your heart. And I want you to do your damnedest to release yourself from it. Just put it into this bowl of water. Just literally say to yourself, I place X, Y, or Z into this water, and I want to be free of it. A trick for you to do when you're feeling inundated by your pain, your trauma, your stress, whatever it is that you're feeling inundated by, I want you to go find yourself a body of water. I want you to find yourself a rock, preferably a white one or a quartz rock. And I want you to hold it up to your mouth and I want you to whisper into it. Please take my grief. Please take my pain. Please take my heartache. And then I want you to take that rock and I want you to ding it as far into that river, lake, pond, or ocean as you can. I want you to give yourself an active release. Okay? Now, what I'm going to do is I have a little incense stick here. I saw this at the store the other day. It's a balsam incense stick. And my Graham, I'll tell you what happened. I went into this store and I saw a little balsam pillow, about 6 inches wide, 4 inches high, with a little fox on it. My Graham used to make wreaths. Always practical, always working with her hands, always doing her best to make money. And I saw that little balsam pillow because after my Graham would make wreaths, she'd sweep up all the balsam needles off the floor of our workshop and turn them into little balsam pillows that she would later sell to the little tourist shops in our area. So I'm going to burn this incense stick. And as I burn this incense stick, I want you to understand that it's a blessing to you, the healing part of our journey today. Now, as I was getting ready to do this session today, and I'm just thinking about, setting the intention, getting forward, like moving forward with it and all of that. This is where the interactive part comes in. Okay. I want to talk to somebody here, and I'm not going direct. I'm not going to somebody specific. I'm going to start doing that in a little bit. But the first reading here has to do with somebody that has either you have it out now or it's packed away in your Christmas stuff. I want to call them tin soldiers or wooden soldiers or nutcracker. Does anybody here have nutcrackers? Anybody here that has a nutcracker or a wooden soldier? Okay. So Stephanie, you just waved your hand like this. Okay. So interestingly here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you off of mute. I don't think anybody else does. Okay. So I'm going to unmute you. Okay. Or ask you to unmute yourself. Okay. Stephanie, can I ask you, do you have this wooden soldier out now?
No, I have one.
Okay.
Right now, but it's upstairs in the attic.
Okay. Aaron has nutcrackers too that are out now. Okay. Aaron, you've gotten a lot over the course of this podcast. So I'm going to pause here. Okay. I'm going to pause here because this is what happens. I get connected to a lot of people that my spirit's gotten connected to, but I want to make sure anybody here has nutcrackers that are out right now. Because this is who I'm supposed to talk to. And if this isn't Stephanie, yours is packed away. Anybody else have nutcrackers that are out and about?
Aaron has indicated that she does in the chat.
Aaron, yep, I see Aaron. Thank you, Len, for that. Sally, you're pointing your finger up like this, okay? So give me a moment. Tabitha Meadows, hold on. Here's the thing about Aaron, and thank you for joining us, Len, and thank you for chiming in about that. Here's what I've also set the intention to do. I've done a lot of these episodes and I seem to be going back to the same people over and over and over. And that's nothing I can control. That's something that my spirit's done because my spirit seems to like people in that way. Tabitha, you said that you have a nutcracker that's out and about. You have it right. Do you have it near you? I'm going to ask you to unmute yourself. There we go.
It's upstairs. It's actually it is a nutcracker, but it's a muttcracker that my best friend made.
Okay. So no shade against Aaron. Aaron, this isn't for you. I'm getting that feeling. It's not for you, but thank you for saying that. Okay. So Tabitha, this is important. And I think this applies to Aaron as well because, okay, Christmas decoration. All right. Christmas decoration. Christmas is the vitamin joy holiday. All right. The vitamin joy holiday. And this is what I got to bring it up for everybody. It's not a Christian thing. It can be a Christian thing, but Christmas happens around the winter solstice because it's the darkest time of the year. So the colors, the smells, the tastes, the sounds, all of that will lead us to have vitamin joy in the darkest time of the year. When it's gray, it's dark, it's cold. Okay. So Tabitha, I believe this is for you because the person that I'm speaking to is also walking vitamin joy. Also walking vitamin joy. So you would have a representation of vitamin joy up in your house. I believe that you're also like me, Tabitha, in that you don't really contribute to a lot of political divisiveness. You do your best to bring the joy and the happiness and the art and all of that, correct? Okay. So here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring you up on Spotlight because this reading is for you. Okay, so I'm going to bring you up on Spotlight. Remember, I'm going to do 7 of these, and that means that they're going to be a little fast. Okay. So Tabitha, welcome, welcome, welcome. All right. Now, when I was talking about when I was talking about your or people in this world suffering, all of that, and I set myself in this place of trying to bring joy to others and love and light and all of that stuff. I believe that you're also a kindred spirit in that way, that you want to help compensate for the pain that everybody's feeling. Yes? Okay.
Yes.
Now, here's another thing that I get about you. And again, I didn't know what was going to happen about this. Did you have a grandmother that rocked in a rocking chair?
Yes.
Okay. Here's an interesting thing. I think that she was a little jaded or a little harsh. Okay. Like what I get is she's with you, she's proud of you, but I wish I would have told you this when I was here. I wish I had the ability to uncage my heart and to bring you this information. So this grandmother's coming through. Thank you for not being like those who imprinted upon you. Thank you for not being like those who imprinted upon you. There would be people that might have been cruel or harsh or mean, severe, drastically severe in that way, and you are moved in the other direction. Okay, here's something that is an interesting dichotomy or a paradox that I have to give you. I think you are far too serious at trying to be playful. I think you take yourself too seriously. I really do. I think you take yourself too seriously.
Yes.
I life is too short to take ourselves too seriously. The way that you bring others joy, I want you to bring yourself joy. I want you to literally get into better conversation with yourself and try to give yourself all of the fun, the insight, the cartoon energy, all of it. And I also want to ask you too, do you live in a home with somebody who has a chronic illness?
Yes.
You do. Okay, okay, okay. Um, all right. Do you know that this person is also, does this person stay up to date on the news, watch the news drastically, like at pain around like global events, like national events?
Yeah, he's right here with me.
He is? Okay. Do this. That person needs to uh, minimize to the bare minimum his exposure to the pain of the world.
Okay.
Now, here's an interesting thing that I've gone through. I have seen for so long so many people lash out about politics and this and outraged. They're outraged. They're so outraged. And I won't do that. I won't participate in it. And there's a part of me that wonders if I'm getting it wrong. There's a part of me that wonders if I'm getting it wrong. And I realize I'm not, because my suffering is not the toll or the currency that I have to pay to get through this world. And you have to remind this person, if he's here hearing my voice, he has to know that his suffering, his awareness, his ability to carry on his shoulders national events, outrage, all of that is not the currency that he pays to get through existence. We've got to be mindful of that. Now, the other thing that I would encourage this person to do is find a cat rescue and go hug a cat. Go to a cat rescue. Go. I'm seeing cats. I'm seeing cuddly little dogs. What have you? Go to an animal rescue and maybe volunteer or contribute, or at least just go hug an animal that needs human contact. The energy that he will get or you will get out of that uh, is going to be far greater for his health than constantly drinking in the news. Okay. The other thing that I want to encourage you to do, Tabitha, I don't know why I hear these words, but I need you to make witch balls. I don't know why I hear those words together. I want you to like look up what a witch ball is. I don't know what that is.
Oh, I know what it
Have you ever
is.
heard? You know what it is?
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. I don't know what that is. There's something about creating something with your hands to at least move the pain, the turmoil into it. This personal life partner, is this like boyfriend, husband, fiance? Is this the person that's in that room with you, like a life partner?
Yes.
Okay. You need a craft night. All right. You need a craft night. You need to like put your hands on something, um like a paint and sip, even if it's like a Pepsi, you know what I mean? A craft and sip, Pepsi, I don't know what it is, but there's something about putting your hands into something creative like that. I also want to ask you too, because connected to this grandmother in a rocking chair, did you move away from home? Are you away from home? Are you displaced?
My mother moved away from me. Yes.
Your mother moved away from you,
Yes.
but you didn't move away?
I
So
mean,
I'm sorry, let me just give you the message that I'm getting. I'm glad that you moved away. Okay. Like I'm glad that you got out of Dodge. I'm glad that you left. I'm glad that you did got out, struck out on your own. It's interesting too because I get from your ancestors. This is interesting because again, trying to like let's have some joy here, people. Let's have some joy. All right. Um, I don't know if you're aware of these ancestors or not, but there is a certain group of your ancestors and the spirits who used like the Bible or like religion to hurt others or to hinder others. I don't know if you know about them. Do you
I
know
think
them?
I think they still do.
They still do. Okay, well, the dead ones are regretting it. The dead ones are regretting it. So there's this idea of happy that you got out, happy that you got away, happy that you struck out on your own. Okay. But here's something that might be in your heart leaving home, leaving our family, being disconnected from our loved ones, that can create a pain in our heart. Let me remind you that you did nothing wrong. I need to remind you that you did nothing wrong. And you did everything that I think someone else in your position you'd want them to do. That's very important for you to hear. Okay. Now, do you have Mondays off or time on Monday that is off?
I have a lot of time off right now. Yes.
Okay. I have a funny task for you to do tomorrow, and it might feel ridiculous, and it's going to be by yourself. I need you to go
Okay.
to a schoolyard where there is a swing set, and I need you to get into a swing, and I need you to swing like a little kid. Okay? I need you to swing like a little kid.
Okay.
The other thing that I need to tell the person that's with you, the man who's got the chronic illness, he is enough. Like he needs to know that there might be something in him that he might have this inner turmoil or this inner battle about being enough or being healthy or stepping into this place of like the dude energy of the protector, the volume protector, what have you. He's enough, and you've got to hear. He's got to hear that, like more than enough. I think, especially for you. But any of his inner turmoil, I think, is just his and his alone. It's interesting though because all right, what I just saw for him is like the swing thing for you, Tabitha, is all you. Don't bring him. You're going to go out by yourself. You're going to go find a schoolyard. You're going to go sit in a swing like a little kid, kick your legs and swing and try to find some joy and move your body in that way. For this man, it's interesting. And I don't know where you're located, but I have to wonder if there's a place that looks like this. For him, I was feeling treehouse energy, treehouse energy. Like, I don't know if you had a treehouse as a kid, but what I'm seeing is but there are certain places around me in like upper New England that have boardwalks through the woods and platforms that you can go out and they're like viewing platforms where you can go out and like look at the river or the swamp or the lake or what have you. And they're like at the end of a boardwalk and it's square. Do you guys have anything like that?
A few of them, yes.
A few of them, okay.
Hmm.
Not sure not sure what this man is having happen for him, but He needs to go connect to nature. Like if he's mobile, if he has the ability to walk and get around, he needs to take some time by himself to go those boardwalks and to go onto those viewing platforms and to go spend some time. And then what I just saw for him is this. I feel like he's a naturalist, or like connected to nature, naturalist, and all of that. Like, do you know what a moleskin journal is?
Yes.
Okay. I feel like he needs to take a moleskin journal, pencil, pen, what have you, and go sketch leaves, go sketch birds, go sketch trees, go sit down. He does not need to carry the burden of the world on his shoulders. That's not what his job is here. And when he passes, he might regret spending so much time being so focused on the things he cannot control. Go out. And this is again, remember, everybody that gets a reading here today is going to benefit from everything that comes through. So Tabitha, she's gotten the crafting, she's gotten the people that are apologizing to her, she's gotten to go out and find a swing. Her life partner, put down the goddamn news. Go out, walk on the boardwalk, and go out into the viewing platforms. Get out into nature. Remember that you're on vacation. Go get some vitamin joy. The other thing that I need to bring to attention here is that our constant exposure to the turmoil that's around us is unhealthy. Our bodies do not know the difference of whether we're in a forest fire or whether we're constantly stressed out by the news and the bullshit that we are drinking in. This is something that he needs to hear. I am being literally pulled to his physical heart, not his metaphorical heart, not his metaphysical heart, but his physical heart. And if he's constantly stressed, he is putting impact on his physical heart. This is where, and I'm not a medical provider and I don't know where it comes from, but I think this is, at least for women, the number one killer of women is heart disease. Okay, men get heart disease too. We have to avoid that. We have to do what we can to mitigate the stress. It is not our responsibility to carry the burdens. And I can't believe that I would have to say this. It is not a sin to know joy. It is not a sin to know joy. I don't know where that comes from, but too many people are avoiding joy because they feel like they have to fix the world by standing in constant witness to the turmoil around us. Okay. So, Tabitha, I have a project for you too. Okay. This again is artistic, and this might not go anywhere for you, but I'm going to give you an idea to do this, please. I want you to consider writing a children's book about a little witch. I see a little witch, a little character, a little Halloween. If you're artistic, anything to that degree, I want you to write a little witch children's book. Could turn into a series, could turn into all of that. You've got some witchy vibes, obviously. If I'm being shown a little witch and I'm being told witch ball, I'm being told all of that. I need you to do something to bring your heart and put it into paper, put it into something permanent. Like bring your joy, bring it to the world, bring the Addams Family vibe, the spooky kooky vibe to the world. Bring it to the world. Plenty of people love it, and I don't think you give yourself the credit as an artist, as a practitioner, or as a spiritual person that you deserve. So don't work against yourself, okay? Make sure that you go out and at least, the very least, go swinging tomorrow. If this man has the capacity to do it, as soon as possible, have him bring a journal, sketch journal, what have you, and go out on these boardwalks and viewing platforms. Okay. Interestingly, I just saw a heron, like a big flying heron. If he could go to any body of water where there's a heron, a blue heron, a crane, anything like that, go out and enjoy the nature that he's not always going to have. All right. So thank you for this. I'm going to take off spotlight. Here's the next one. Okay, here we go. Interesting. Okay. So I'm going to take myself off spotlight. So I walked into this thinking about going direct, like being pulled, having my eyes pulled to different squares on the screen. I'm not doing this, so I got a question because the next thing is I want to ask anybody here, does anybody here have Mickey Mouse decorations? Mickey Mouse things in their house? Mickey Mouse, Mickey Mouse. Anybody a Mickey Mouse person? I'm seeing Mickey Mouse. So this could be a symbol for Disney. Anybody got like a Mickey Mouse decoration or Mickey Mouse figure, Mickey Mouse something? I'm seeing Mickey Mouse. Anybody here with that? Hold on. Thank you, Danielle. Hold on, hold on, hold on. So, Sally, I'm going to unmute you. Okay. I'm going to ask you to unmute. So, Danielle, thank you for that. I'm not sure if it's an actual Aunt Mickey. I think it's a Mickey Mouse figurine or decoration. Again, I think out in the house, out somewhere where you can see it. Sally, tell me what you got.
I've actually got a Mickey Mouse, stuffed Mickey Mouse from my honeymoon 42 years ago.
Okay. So I'm actually, and thank you, Danielle. I'm looking for an actual like Mickey Mouse. So thank you for that, Sally. So from your honeymoon 42 years ago. Honeymoons are vacations. Okay, like they're vacations. They're we check, we're not yet into the business of life. We are kind of on the ramp. We're moving up into that. Okay, here we are. Hmm. But Sally, I've got a really strange question for you. I don't know if you've done this. I don't know if Spirit wants you to do this. Have you made your husband's clothes into pillowcases?
Almost. Almost.
Okay.
I sleep
Tell
in
me, tell me,
his clothes.
you sleep in his clothes.
Yes.
Okay, so this is definitely for you. So I'm gonna spotlight you, I'm gonna spotlight me, we're gonna have this conversation. Okay, okay, okay. All right. Um, okay. Tell me why they would show me you peeling carrots. I just saw peeling carrots as like an act of joy. Do you ever like peel carrots, shred carrots? Is there anything that you make with carrots that's joyful?
I make a pretty good roast. My husband loved it.
A roast. Okay,
I'd
we would
always
put
tell him he
carrots.
was a lucky man.
Okay, we would put carrots in the roast. Yeah, like potatoes, carrots, all of that. All right. Doing that act, like making the roast, is something that brought you joy. Yes.
Definitely.
Okay. Here's something that I want everybody to consider. Sally, you've lost your husband. You wear his clothes. Uh, you've got the Mickey Mouse. I want you to consider, please, making a meal for your husband, making a meal for you, making a meal for your family. If anybody here has lost a loved one, they liked apple pie or mincemeat pie or carrot cake or things like that, make a meal, especially if it brought you joy, because there's an ancient tradition of what's called the dumb supper, of like having a meal with our beloved dead and having them sit at the table with us and making a plate of food for them. And there's all of that spiritual stuff about making offerings and giving food and drink to our loved ones in spirit. That's something that we can have get joy from, to remember that connection there. Here's also something that is very deep, and I have to say this to you. Well, it's difficult to say because it's a hard thing to say for me. Ooh, all right. So we're gonna turn this into joy as much as possible. Sally, they know you want to be dead. Like, they know that you want to go to where they're at. Um, one day it's gonna happen. One day it's gonna happen. Nobody has control of that. Nobody can stop that. Nobody lives forever. One day you're going to be there. The process is inevitable. But here's what you can't do. However long you have, 7 weeks, 7 months, 7 years, 17 years, it doesn't matter. You squeeze the amount of joy out of this life as you can. You have to squeeze it out as much as possible. Okay? Now, you're on a healing journey, which means you haven't healed completely. You're on a healing journey. I need you to also remember You're kind of beating up on your husband's wife. Okay, that's you. That's you. You have to take care of his wife because he's not here to do that. The other thing that I need you to do too is uh, I don't know if you have room on your nightstand because it might be crowded with all sorts of things. That Mickey Mouse on your honeymoon, that Mickey Mouse, put it near your nightstand, put it right next to you. Have Mickey Mouse is a symbol of joy. It's a symbol of joy. It's a symbol of fun and happiness. Disney is that. Put it put it close to you so you have a visual reminder of how important it is for his wife to know joy. Okay? To know joy. The other thing too, make yourself an egg salad sandwich. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Ah, so this is an interesting process with the symbols and all of this. Okay. The last blog I wrote was about a woman who lost her husband in spirit. The husband was coming through and telling her that it was okay to move on and find a new partner, and it told her how to like make an egg salad sandwich for the man she was interested in, because he wanted the best for her. Either you like an egg salad sandwich or spirit's giving me that symbol. Everybody can go to my website and look
Yeah.
at my most recent blog about the egg salad sandwich. That might be the symbol telling you that you might want to move on. And I don't know if you'd ever have another partner. I don't know if that's anything they'd ever consider, but at least move on from the place that you are here now. When I was talking to Tabitha's life partner, and the way that he might be really too focused on the things that cause him pain, or he might feel guilty knowing joy. You can't feel guilty knowing joy. All of this is circling around survivor's guilt, Sally. All of this is circling around survivor's guilt. Everything that I'm getting is circling around that. Um, do me a favor on Monday. Here's a task for you. Here's a little homework assignment from the man who gave you the Mickey Mouse. Go to an antique shop, go to a junk shop, go to something that brings you joy. Please. Go to something that brings you joy. Do you like junking? Do you like yard sailing? Do you like antiquing?
Yeah.
Okay. Please go. Please go paw through other people's shit. like like the junking. You don't have to buy anything, but get out of the place that is familiar to you. Get out of the place that might remind you of, okay, hold on. I think, all right, hold on. You might have redecorating, rearranging, or just plain moving on in your future, like
Yeah.
changing the stuff, putting new things on the wall, moving things around. So it's like being in a new place. So go antiquing, go to a shop, go to a consignment shop, go to like a place where you can find other people's junk and treasure. And here's the great thing about buying secondhand. There's no goddamn tariffs on it. No
That
goddamn
that
tariffs
sounds
on
more that
secondhand
sounds more
purchases.
like me.
Okay. Do this because I think, based on where you are, I think that you're kind of like my Graham in this way. And here's what I mean by that is my Graham, for a long time, she was just sick of living. She wanted to go on. She pickled herself. My Graham pickled herself and turned into an 87-year-old woman who stayed around for a really long time because the body just kept going. Another reminder, too, is this. You're reuniting with your husband is inevitable. You still have people in this world that love you, and you are important to people in this world. Should you go to the world of spirit too soon, those people are going to miss you. Those people are going to suffer. So you need to stick around, mama, and hang out with these people. I know that you're not suicidal in that way. I know that you do crave being in the world of spirit. So those two things are separate. They're not together.
Right.
But remember that one day this will all become a memory. This is literally the good old days. Everything that we're experiencing here will become a memory. We are creating memories and we have to make the best of it. So I love that Aaron says that. I know it feels wrong to be happy when the person you love the most in life is not here. Sometimes it feels wrong to be happy when we watch other people suffering around us. But may we become an inspiration to others in the way that we pursue joy with no shame and no apology. This is what everybody needs to hear. You make an impact in the world, Sally, in your own way, when you forget your pain and forget your story. But when you're feeling those belly laughs, you bring joy to others. To a greater or lesser degree, everybody on this call is walking vitamin joy. So remember that, please. The other thing, too, is I'm getting this is, again, remember, this is guidance, this is joy, this is all of that. When I was talking to Taba's life partner about walking on the platforms, going outside into the big like overlooks or what have you, I don't know what part of the world you're in, Sally, but if you are in a place where you have any place like that, a nature trail, a park, or a boardwalk, go out and get in some nature. Okay. Here's the other thing, too. I'm not a fan of zoos. I don't like zoos. Zoos really bring me down, trapped animals and cages and all of that. Why am I seeing monkeys around you? Like hanging monkeys. I don't know if there's a zoo around you. I don't know if there's a memory of monkeys. What are the monkeys?
My husband used to say to me, they're not your monkeys, it's not your zoo, something like that. With
Not my
all the
circus, not my monkeys.
drama around us, from other people, it's not your monkeys.
Okay. Well, you have a certain set of monkeys. Manage them. Remember your heart, your pain, your turmoil, those are your monkeys, not necessarily other people's. Okay? Not necessarily other people's. Okay. Take care of your husband's wife. That's you. Go out and find some nature. Okay? Go out. And interestingly, if you are in a place where there's nature and you can go for a walk, that exercise that I would have talked to you about blowing into a rock and tossing it, I want you to go do that. I think everybody should do that, but go
That
talk to a
resonated with
rock.
me.
Excellent. Go blow into a rock and go ding it into the water. Don't throw your shoulder out. Just toss it. You don't have to wing it, but take care of yourself. And now that I'm tasting bananas, I think that you should do your best to increase your potassium. Okay?
I'm
Like,
working on that every day.
you are. Okay, perfect. Increase your potassium. Okay. I will leave you with this. His love for you is eternal. His love for you will always be eternal. There's not an expiration date to it, even if there was an expiration date to his physical form. One day there will be an expiration date to your physical form, but the love you feel for him will never expire. Just remember that. Okay. Much love to you, my friend. Take care of yourself. I'm going to go to the next one. Here we are. Okay. So I'm going to take you off spotlight. Okay. So here's a funny thing. All right. So the next one, I believe I am going to be talking to a man here, and there's a few men here. So I see Shane up in the corner. I see Len here. This might actually be for Len. Hold on. I'm seeing something very specific. So Len, give me a thumbs up if you played with Lincoln Logs when you were a kid. Did you play with Lincoln Logs? Okay, so this is for you. Okay, so here I am. I'm going to unmute you and I'm going to bring you up here. Okay, spotlight for you, spotlight for me. Here we are. Okay. Do you come from builders, Len? Like people who like built things,
No, not really.
not engineers or mechanics or anything like that?
No.
Okay, just bear with me here. I'm going to give you a really interesting thing to do. I need you to get yourself a set of Lincoln Logs. I need you to get yourself some Legos. Okay? I need you to play. Like whatever that means to you. I need you to play. I need you to go. It's going to be difficult as an adult male being taught that you have to be a serious adult in this world. I need you to buy some toys, my man. I need you to buy some toys. I need you to play with toys. Why am I, you're going to help me out with this. Why am I feeling
Hmm.
This is why I asked if you come from builders or mechanics or engineers or, things like that. Why am I feeling with like the Lincoln Logs and the building with the Legos to do the thing that your ancestors did? Did they play? Did they like play card games? Did they have fun as adults? Because there is
Yeah.
this message for you to make sure that you are finding childlike joy. And here's another thing that I have for you too. Do you follow the stock market?
I watch it. I not closely, but I've been watching it. Yeah.
You've been watching it. Okay, okay. A lot of interesting stuff happening with that. A lot of interesting stuff happening with that.
Tell me about it.
Here's what I need you to do. I'm seeing you watch numbers like a ticker tape, like tick, 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 tick numbers, whether it's stock market, whether it's anything that's kind of like maybe business related. I don't know what this is. I need you to I need you to shut the world out. I need you to put yourself behind closed doors. I need you to take out the round cardboard thing of Lincoln Logs, and I need you to give yourself a half hour to an hour of building something with Lincoln Logs or Legos. There's something about when I was talking to Tabitha's life partner, husband, what have you, about holding on to the weight of the world, standing in constant witness to it, that can have an effect on us. So you must be somebody who is in a place of turmoil around things that are going on or what have you. What I need you to do is I need you to close out the world and play a little bit. Now, if you can't bring yourself to act like a 7-year-old with a set of Lincoln Logs, which you're, as far as I know, you're an American and still a free world here, right?
Yeah.
You can get yourself a set of Lincoln Logs and play with them. All right. If you can't do that, I'm seeing a pencil and like crossword puzzle word games, things like that. A little bit of play, a little bit of distraction, a little bit of like word games, things like that. The other thing that are you a historian? When I was talking about genealogy, ancestry, are you into that stuff?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
I do a lot of crossword puzzles, first of all, and
Okay.
I'm a history major.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
Here's something that I
and
need
I'm
to
into
show you.
genealogy. My family goes
Yep.
back to the Great Migration of 1635 into Connecticut. So,
I love that. All right. So here's something that I have to show you. Now you're gonna. This is remember. This is joyful for you. Um, so right next to me, I have a couple of books. So the first one is this book right here. So my husband and I created this book called Love Leftover, Recipes of Love from Our Dearly Departed. Everybody should know that we're taking submissions for volume 2, but this book that we made has names,
Oh my God, it's like
stories, recipes. So we have here Rhonda Andrews Hamlin with traditional holiday rolls that used to be called rusk. Rhonda Andrews Hamlin was born in 1795 in New Britain, Connecticut, to Hezekiah Andrews Jr., a Revolutionary War veteran, and his wife, Rhoda Porter. Okay, this is really important to the world of spirit. Okay, this is like a collection of desserts and all of it. The other book that I want to show you, and there's a reason why I'm showing you and everybody else here, so I wrote this book for my gram. I keep talking about my gram. I always talk about my gram. This book is called Son of a Sea Cook. Not a very big book, but a book about her life, her stories. And anybody who doesn't know about this book, I want to share with you why this book is worth more than $1 billion. Here's why. Here's why. Before my gram passed, she wrote poetry. She sent that poetry to a friend. None of our family, I didn't know, my sister, nobody knew that my grandma wrote this poetry. She knew as she was passing, she wrote this poetry, she sent it to a friend. When my grand passed, the friend sent it to my sister. When I was writing this book, coming up with this book, I reached out to my sister and I was like, hey, Jess, you got any stories? You got any pictures that you want to share? And she goes, I actually have this poetry from Graham that I was going to put in a frame and give to mom for Christmas. What we did is we took that poetry and we made it the grand finale of the book. So my mom got this book, did not know I was making it, did not know that poetry existed. And my mom is going through the book and she gets to this. poem to my daughters. That right there is worth more than $1 billion. You could offer me $1 billion, and I would much rather have that given to my mom. The reason why I'm bringing this up to you, and the reason why I was pulling into the genealogy, into the history, I need you to consider, if you haven't already, writing a book.
I'm in the middle of writing a book.
Okay, well, as the kids would say, put some stank on it, get to it, put some
Tell me
effort
about
into it.
it.
Okay, put some stank on it, get to it. The reason being is that, God forbid, if you died next week, you're gonna have this half leftover book. You know what I mean? And especially, I
Mhm.
feel called to tell you this: don't let perfect be the enemy of good.
No.
Don't let perfect be the enemy of good, which means you're gonna have to put it out there. You're gonna have to do it. You're gonna have to do the thing. There's something about leaving behind your stories, leaving behind what you know of your parents, your grandparents, your history. Like, and here's why. This is why this is so important to spirit right now, because the world is weird. The world is going to be weird. This book is important to my family, but this book is important to my family 100 years from now. When I got into this work because of my ancestry work, and that changed me fundamentally, I know that this book, this story of my grandmother, is going to have a deep impact on my great, great, great grandchildren, that they knew that they came from a person like this. Okay? So there's bigger reasons why you need to write books, why you need to preserve your history. But I also want to encourage you and everybody here who has a certain amount of stress in their life to remember the benefit of childlike joy. Okay? Childlike joy will it'll preserve you, it'll keep you here longer. So don't consign yourself to what you believe are your duties and your obligations, because if those duties and obligations always equate to stress and like the fear or anger or anything like that, it's having a physical impact on you and it's shortening your duration here. The Lincoln Logs, that's going to keep you going for a long period of time. Okay. Now, the other, oh my gosh. I'm just going to ask, do you have an actual picture of Abraham Lincoln in your home?
Oh, I must have somewhere. That
Not
was
like in a book, but like, here's why. Because I
I
just
don't
heard
think
a
so.
funny thing.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm talking about Lincoln Logs, and take everything that I say with a grain of salt. But I just heard Abraham Lincoln says hi. So, like, hold on. I mean, that's a bold statement. So he's got to be, or part of him has got to still be in spirit. Um, it'll be interesting to see how America plays out.
Mm,
So
indeed.
remember the resiliency of humanity in general. Remember the resiliency of Americans in general, and I do believe we're all going to get through this.
Yes,
Okay.
we will.
So keep that in mind. Okay, keep that in mind. All right. Much love to you, my man. I got to go to the next one. Okay.
Thank
So
you
thank
very
you for
much.
this. You're very welcome. Okay, here we go. Get on that book, Lem, because the world needs it. All right, here we are. All right. So circling back to the monkey thing that I was talking to about Sally, I want to talk to somebody here who might have, like, I'm seeing a countertop, I'm seeing counters. I want to talk to somebody here who might have a banana hook. Okay, like a thing on your counter that would, like, you'd put a thing of bananas on, and then on the countertop would be like canisters from somebody like a grandmother or somebody like that. I'm seeing what looks like a counter. I think that you might hang bananas on it. um and canisters. Anybody here have canisters that might belong to their mom, their grandmother, older canisters? Okay, so Jill, I see you waving your hand a little bit. Is that you? Oh, okay. You're just moving your hand around. Okay, I got it. I got it. I got it. Okay. Anybody here have old canisters? Okay, I see a corner that says Samsung. Are you giving me a thumbs up there? Somebody giving me a thumbs up? Okay. I'm going to ask you to unmute yourself. I can't tell what your name is.
Becky.
Hi. Jackie?
Becky.
Becky. Okay, Becky. Um, do you have the banana hook thing? Do you hang bananas up?
Yes, I do.
Okay. All right. Do you have old canisters of mom, grandma, all that?
I have a set of canisters that my mom gave me years ago.
Okay. So this is for you. Okay, here we are. Okay, so I'm going to put you on spotlight. Okay. Now I'm going to put myself on spotlight. We're going to have a little bit of fun here. Okay, here we go. Becky, are you constantly worried about kids, grandkids?
All the time.
All the time. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you, what good does that do you?
No good. No,
Okay.
I know it doesn't.
All right. I need you to do me a favor. Okay. And remember, this is the joy that I need you to find. Okay. So one thing is you're you're worried, and it feels like boys, sons, grandsons, boys. I don't know. It feels like I'm probably more worried about boys than you are girls, what have you. But I just get this incessant worry that I'm like, okay, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to spend some money on yourself, and this is going to sound ridiculous. I need you to go on Amazon, on Walmart.com, online somewhere, and I need you to buy the entire DVD set of Dallas. Okay. Do you remember Dallas?
Yes,
Okay. I was born in 1979. So Dallas, Dynasty, Knots Landing, those are things that my mom and my aunts watched.
I
Okay.
remember them. Yep.
You remember them. Okay. Did you watch Dallas?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Here's what you need to do. You need to get those and you need to watch them. Okay.
Okay.
You like your worry and your stress, it does you no good. It's not accomplishing anything. And in fact, it might be making things worse for you. And here's the other thing that I have. Do you have ulcers? Do you have stomach pains? Do you have are you giving yourself ulcers?
I could be. I don't have any ulcers that I know of, but I do have some stomach issues. Yes.
Okay. I think all your stress is going to your stomach. Okay. Like you hold it there. Um, mm, okay. Would you consider yourself to be a religious woman? All right. But here's a funny question that I have for you. It's really funny. Uh, I just laugh because I love what I do. I love this. Okay, so I'm feeling you stressing, I'm feeling you worrying, and I'm gonna have you ask yourself, what would Jesus do? Okay. Like, like Jesus is a real energy. He's out there. He's a real energy. Okay. You gotta kind of like, and while I'm being fun with this and I'm having some joy with this, here's a little bit of faith. So, as a religious person, as a spiritual person, as a Christian woman, whatever you consider yourself, to a certain degree, you have to let go and let God
Right.
because you are not God.
No.
And stressing and worrying is never, ever going to accomplish anything positive. It's only going to affect your physical well-being. So there's this overarching theme here where people have to understand, like, what good does worry do you? Is it practical? I don't think so. Is it mindful? Here's what I want you to do too. Here's another mission. Here's another mission for you. So this son of yours, is it a son that you're worried about? Tell me, is it a son that you're worried about?
Yes.
Okay. Here's what I need you to do. Are you connected to them on Facebook, on Messenger, on Snapchat? Are you connected to them? Okay.
Yes.
Do this. I want you to go out and I want you to find ridiculous memes in the same way that I wake up and I look for memes to share with the world and just kind of like add a little bit of laughter to the world. I want you to go out and I want you to find stupid memes. I'm seeing car memes, like silly car memes. Okay. just dude stuff, if you will. Go out and find some memes for your son and send them to him. Just try to give him a little bit of laughter. Try to give him a little bit of joy, okay? Try to give him a little bit of laughter. Try to give him a little bit of joy. That, interestingly enough, will help keep the line of communication open. You don't seem like the overbearing mother who's all like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? You won't be that. You'll be somebody who's like sending a little bit of affection, like a token of affection to that person. Okay. So anybody here who's got kids, grandkids, in-laws, parents, somebody that you worry about, keep the communication open and look at the devices that we carry around in our hands. You know, last week I made a point to send to my son out of nowhere for no reason a message to him that said, "Hey man, I just want to let you know I could not be prouder of you as a father. I think you're kick ass. You're working hard. You have a great life. You're healthy. I really appreciate you. You are the best son a dad could ask for." I made sure to do that out of like for no reason. I also sent my husband something like that, but that's lovey-dovey stuff. Our kids need to hear that. Our kids need to hear that. So everybody, make sure that you're sending your people love and joy and affirmations and positivity and all that good stuff. Okay. Here's something that I need you to hear too. And I don't need to get into your business and I don't need to get into your dirty laundry, but I have a very strong message to deliver to you, Becky, that you need to hear. You did not fail your mom. You did not fail your mom. You did not let her down. You did not fail her. You have to know that. You're raking yourself across the coals for no good reason. You did the best you could with what you had, but you never failed your mother. Okay? You got to know that. Take care of her daughter, right? Take care of her daughter. Also interesting, this summer, plan a barbecue or a cookout where you can have corn on the cob. Okay, like get together with your people, have some corn on the cob. All right, like chipmunks, beavers, what have you. And funny enough, I'm hearing what sounds like 80s hair metal, like Def Leppard, Guns N' Roses, the rock and roll, that sort of stuff. Okay, remember, you know, you have a choice where you're spending your life worrying for what I believe is no good reason, not going to accomplish anything, but put your efforts into sending messages of love and put your efforts and energy into getting your people together, having the barbecues, because we're only here for a short amount of time. Okay.
Right.
Okay. All my love to you. Thank you for being here.
Thank
Okay.
you so much. God bless.
Take care of yourself. And remember, what would Jesus do? What would
All
Jesus
right.
do? Okay. Take care. Okay. Here we go. Next one. Spotlight. Anybody here get taught to make bows, like Christmas bows by their mom? Like, I don't like, I buy the bows when I wrap my presents, but what I'm seeing is like a ribbon, like a ribbon. Hold on, hold on. This is somebody who would have like, remember, I'm a man, did not grow up wearing dresses, don't know what this is, but this is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing the most perfect bow on somebody's back. Here's an interesting thing, like a dress, a bow on somebody's back. So anybody, okay, there's a woman coming through. She feels religious. She feels like she would have had a religious nature. I'm hearing the word Sunday school. I don't know if this is a ribbon, like a really nice ribbon on a gift, or a really nice ribbon. Anybody here wear Sunday dresses? Anybody here have ribbons around their chest? Yeah, hold on, hold on. This is somebody who would have been taught how to make bows. Anybody here know how to make bows? Like, hold on, Sarah, hold on, hold on, hold on. I don't think it's for you, Robin. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. So I'm gonna ask you to unmute yourself, Sarah. Hold on. Okay.
Okay.
Hi. Okay, Sarah, do you know how to make a bow?
I know how to make, my mother had me help her make bows on Christmas gifts. You know,
There
how
we
to
go.
tie the with the narrow ribbons where you made it and then
Yep.
you curled the ends so that it was pretty. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So this, I believe, is for you. Hold on, hold on. Can I ask you, was Mama religious? Did she have a spirituality?
She was spiritual, not always in a conventional way, but she did teach Sunday school. She taught me Sunday school, took me to Sunday school when I was a young girl. And
Yeah.
she
So this is
got
for you.
older, she got more unconventional in her spirituality. But yeah.
Okay. So here's something that I have to. I'm going to bring you up on Spotlight. We're going to share
Okay.
this moment together. Okay. This is for you. Okay. Here we are. So put me on Spotlight. We're going to share the time together here, and everybody can see us. Okay. So Sarah, you are somebody that I would consider to be an idealist. Do you know this? Like you have
Yeah.
ideals, you, your family, community, all of that. Some people would call that being a perfectionist.
Yes.
Okay. I don't like that term perfectionist. I do prefer the term idealist. Now, here's something that there's a reason why this conversation is happening because remember, this is for you. This is for everybody that's here. This is for everybody that might listen to this. Okay. How many people in the world hold ideals for themselves, for their family, for their community, for the world themselves? And here's an interesting lesson that I learned last year. And I've got to tell you this story because this is going to be, this is for you. This is for you. Okay. All right. Last summer, like I'm not a heat guy. I don't like the heat. Okay. But I'm also not an AC guy. So I don't like AC in the car. Like if I'm driving in the summer, I like the windows down, with air blowing around me. So my husband and I were camping in Burlington, Vermont. Okay. I was stuck in traffic. I was getting a little pissy. I was getting a little frustrated with traffic and people not like doing the right thing. And okay. But we were headed to our campground. I was hot and I was bothered. So I was pissy at traffic. And then I get hit by spirit with this message. Your frustration is a you thing. My frustration at traffic was a me thing. And like in this moment, this is what I was taught by spirit. Here is my ideal. My ideal about traffic operating, okay, was up here. Reality was right here. That space in between reality and my ideals was where my conflict lied. I cannot make traffic move faster. I can only adjust my ideals. And if I can decrease my ideals, being to be closer to reality, I reduce my frustration. So here's the interesting thing for you, for all of us, for the people that might be frustrated with the direction the country's going politically and our family, what have you. We all have ideals. Reality does not match up to those ideals. And we have to figure out how to be realistic while holding on to our ideals. Okay. You are exceptional, Sarah. I don't know you. I don't know who you are. I'm not sure if we've ever spoken before in my life, but I know this message that I'm getting. Your commitment to your family and the quality and the caliber of what you want to bring to the world is exceptional. You are exceptional. You have these wonderful ideals. And this is what this woman is saying to me who helped you make these bows. Okay, you have to know that you are knocking it out of the park. Your frustration lies that your ideals are here and the reality is here.
Yeah.
That's where we get our frustration. Okay, so I'm going to ask you to hold on to your ideals. Shoot for the stars, mama. Shoot for the stars. Make your world the best. Now, we, so many of us have incredible lives because our moms, our loved ones were idealists. They wanted the best for us. My mom was poor. She worked hard. She had ideals for her kids. What my mom went through to make sure that we could go to the fair every autumn, what my dad went through to make sure that we could have Christmas presents because they had ideals of what their children should have for lives. I will always respect them and I will always love for them for it, no matter how problematic they were. Growing up, they were human, but they had ideals for their family and they were committed to them. You're an exceptional person. You're an exceptional person, Sarah. Your ideals and what you've done and built in your life are incredible. So here's my question for you. You don't even have to answer it. Do you believe that? I'm not sure you do.
No.
Okay. I'm going to kindly ask you, as a complete stranger, to pull your head out of your ass. Okay. Here's why. Here's why. Because if you had a daughter who was given your life and walked through every step that you'd ever walked through, been through everything that you'd ever been through, turned her life into what you've turned it into, you'd be incredibly proud of her. You need to be incredibly proud of yourself because you are missing the mark. You're missing the mark. You're actually, as much as you may not like to hear this, you're wrong. You're wrong about the story you tell yourself about yourself. So here you have ideals of the life and the commitment that you have made to your family, your community, your life. I think your ideals about who you are and for yourself, I don't think that you allow yourself to be human. You're human. You're human. You're sloppy. You're messy. We're all sloppy. We're all messy. We're all imperfect. That's what makes us beautiful. You do your best at every opportunity with everything that you've ever been given. You do your best with the limited amount of wisdom and experience that you had at the time. Give yourself grace and make sure that for the rest of your life, you understand that you're an exceptional human being because you have been so devoted to the people that are yours. Can I ask you, do you know this to be true?
I've been devoted in loving in every way I ever could from childhood on to my family. And I don't always think that they like me for it or whatever, or saw it, but I have been.
Well,
They matter.
here's an interesting thing. Here's an interesting thing. I know I've mentioned this before. So like when I walked into this and I said I'm a bullshit hunter and I'm here to hunt the bullshit. Okay. Okay. Well, I'm here to hunt the bullshit. Okay.
Okay.
I got a kid, I got a family, I got a commitment to my community, my little industry enterprise that I have here is doing what I'm doing. I have to be flexible with that. But a conversation that I had with my mom about 5 years ago went like this. My mom, like this was probably the most important conversation I ever had with my mom. Every time I'd hang out with my mom, she'd always be hunting the bullshit. She'd always be like, well, couldn't you do this better? Couldn't that be better? Couldn't you do that? Well, what about this? What about that? And I'd literally have a conversation with my mom that was like, hey, Ma, listen, I love you. I love hanging out with you, but I do not like hearing every time I'm with you all of the things that I could be doing better. I get where you're coming from. I know that you're looking to increase my life. You're looking to make my life the best. So you're looking to hunt the bullshit in it, but you don't need to. Do you get that? So I
Yes.
hope I
Yeah.
hope I hope that you relate to that because when you say I've been committed to my family, I've loved my family, but I'm not sure they like me for it. Well, sometimes we don't need to hear about our bullshit all the time. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
and my mom really took that to heart. Now, that's not to say that my mom doesn't like call me out on my bullshit because she does. But my mom really took that to heart because that's kind of how her parents raised her. So she was just taken after her own parents. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
my mom really like turned around when it came to that. Now, I also want to say too here, it's interesting. Look at what just happened. Talking to Becky, worried about her kids, worried about her son, worried about grandkids, incessantly worried all the time. So Becky is a bullshit hunter. Okay, here you are, a bullshit hunter. You know what I mean? Like, so there's these themes here, but make sure that you do not skip out on the divine responsibility that is to be human. Like, you need to go see some live music. You need to go have some joy. You need to put down the mantle of mom, wife, sister, mother, friend, all of it, and go honor your responsibility to God, to the Creator. You know, because you're a divine being here to be on vacation and to know this story. Yeah, you got to take care of other people, but have you ever asked yourself what your responsibility is to yourself? You have a responsibility to yourself to know joy, to know love, to know beauty, to know all of that. So go do that. I want I want you to go. This is so funny. Go find a pub or a roadside bar that has some live music and just go enjoy yourself. Go
Okay.
have a go have a basket of onion rings. You know, listen to some country music. Go like just go chill out and enjoy some live music and listen to the sounds of humanity around you and set your burdens at the door. Set your burdens at the door. When you leave that venue, that pub, or that bar, or what have you, you pick them back up, but go check out and go have a little bit of fun.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
All right.
In my family, I've heard you talk about before about your family and my family were the same. They were farmers, New Englanders, and everything was held to a very high standard. Had to be perfect, had to be just right. So I resonated to that when I heard you say that at one of your events, that kind of, you didn't hear about the things you did right because you were supposed to be doing things right. So anyway, I got that. That's my mom.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
they kind of regret that. So that's why I'm so happy that we record these for posterity's sake. You're going to be able to come back and revisit this. You're going to be able to hear this. That message that you are exceptional is the one that you need to take away from this because there's nothing wrong with you. Okay. So
Okay. Thank
much
you.
love to you. Yeah, you're very welcome. I'm going
Okay.
on to the next one. Here we
All
go.
right.
Okay, I'm gonna
Thank
leave you. Take you off spotlight. Here we go to the next one. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. So I get a real here's an expression that's coming through my head, and this is like a dad. I think it's a dad. I don't think it's a grandfather. It's somebody who's got real pull my finger energy. Okay. Who knows this expression? Wait a minute. Beans, the magical fruit. The more you eat, the more you toot. Okay. Beans, a magical fruit. The more you eat, the more you toot. Okay. So there's a man here who's like, I don't know if he drove train. I don't know if there was a train. I don't know if there was, but I'm just getting him going toot, 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 toot. And this is real fart energy. Okay. So hear me out on this. This is real fart energy. So trains, toot, toot, the magical fruit, beans, the magical fruit. The more you eat, the more you toot. Um, okay, hold on. I I don't know if somebody would have ever carried you like this, like on your arm, or just carried you. I get like they picked up. I feel like I'm carrying you. Uh, Nothing could get this man down. Nothing could get this man down. I don't know if he lived by a train. He showed me a train. He showed me the fart energy. Who here has this? Who here has this person? Eat jelly beans, Robin said. Okay. Eat jelly beans. Okay. Anybody get carried by a man who would have been real? Hold on. He's showing me him like in a suit. You're in a dress, like maybe like a little Easter dress. I feel like he's holding you up. Interestingly, I almost see you at a funeral together. Like I see you at a formal event. This man, bigger belly. Um, I have to wonder if there's a picture of you in a little dress being held by a man that's in a suit. I just keep hearing dad energy. Okay, anybody connect to this so far? Nobody here has somebody that like to fart all the time. This is like a farter. This is like real kind of like down to earth, funny energy. Okay. Um, Kathy Vane. Okay, so Kathy, you said me. So Kathy, I'm gonna have you take yourself off. Take yourself off mute, please, or I'm gonna ask you to. There we go. Okay. So Kathy, do you have a picture of a man in a suit holding you in a dress?
I don't have me in a suit. Like he would have been dressed up like khakis and a casual shirt. But he was a real jokester. He did the beans. the more, the more you eat, the more you toot. He was very jokey like that.
Okay. I want to ask you too, and this is something that's important. Did he pass away from a colon thing, a lower intestinal thing?
No,
He didn't. Okay. So Robin, you've been kind of talking and chatting and all of that. Maybe he's just giving me like a feeling of like gastro and like distress and farting and tooting and all of that. Um, can I ask you, Kathy, is this your dad?
yeah,
Okay. My question for you is this. Do you have a son or somebody that has his name as the middle name?
no,
Is there okay, hold on, Brenda. Brenda's waving. Hold on. Is there a train connection anywhere? Again, it might be just a toot toot. I might be getting like running out of steam here.
I don't have a train connection.
Don't have a train connection. Okay. Hmm. Sitting on the couch. Okay, again. Did anybody ever? He's bringing me back to a funeral. Does anybody remember going to a funeral with this man? Maybe it was his funeral. I'm not sure, but like, it's not his funeral. It feels like you would have gone to a funeral. You would have been dressed up. I feel you in a very formal setting, maybe like outside a church or something like this. They might be trying to talk about Easter.
I have an Easter picture.
You have an Easter picture. Okay, okay, hold
I,
on,
I
hold on.
was always in dresses as a kid.
Okay, so Robin, do you have a picture of a man in a suit holding you in a dress?
It's a picture of him, me, and my brother together, but it's definitely an Easter picture. He's holding on to each of us, I believe.
So Danielle just, I know. I'm sorry, guys. I'm kind of like going around and around in circles here, but you got to know that they got a certain amount of energy. And I do this for too long, I run out of steam. But Danielle, you had a pink tutu. You were in your grandfather's lap. Danielle, please put yourself on video. Do you have? Oh my gosh, we might have a winner here. Okay. Did you have a tutu? The more you eat, the more you like to.
No, but I was in a tutu.
You were in a tutu. Okay.
Mm.
Was this real farter energy? Like, did he have like the pull my finger energy?
He was pretty sarcastic. He was definitely a joker. It was my grandfather, it wasn't my dad.
Okay. Did he pass away? Do you remember? Like, I keep going down to my lower intestine, my lower gut, like something is wrong.
He lost a lot of weight at the end. His wife died, I know, stomach cancer, but I never met her. That was before I was born.
Okay, no, I'm sorry, Danielle. I've got to go back to
That's okay.
Kathy. I really do think this is Kathy. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. No, I think this is Kathy. I'm really, really I'm really drawn to Kathy, so I got to keep going with Kathy here. So thank you for this, Kathy. Where did you go on my screen? You didn't disappear, did you?
no.
Okay, Kathy, you're right there. Thank you for that. All right. So Kathy, remember how I asked if there was a son with a middle name of this guy? Okay, so hear me out on this because this is important. Um, Oftentimes we'll do that. Oftentimes, like I have, like my middle name is my dad's name. Not any of my grandfather's name, but sometimes we'll do that because we want the energy of that person to go into our children or to carry on. Is there something about you wanting your dad's energy to be with your son? Do you
Yes,
wish do you wish your son was like your dad?
he is like him
He is
a
like him.
lot.
Okay, okay. A lot. Okay, okay, okay. Here we go. So this is for you. I'm gonna spotlight you. Here we go. Here we are. Here we are. Here we are. Okay. I'm gonna spotlight myself too, because we have to have this conversation. All right. Okay. Um, so I keep like it's funny because I keep going to moms. Like I keep like going to moms. Here we are. You're the next mom. Do not take this personally. Do not take this personally. You take things way too seriously. Okay. You take things way too seriously. Everything that I was talking to Becky, everything that I was then talking to, I believe, Sarah, everything that I was talking to people about their responsibilities, their obligations, their goals, everything that I was talking about being the idealist, everything that I was talking about bullshit hunting, everything that I was talking about that. That all had to resonate for you. That all had to fit for you. Okay. Here's what I need you to do. This is going to be ridiculous. Your son is around you, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. You need to buy him a fishing pole and you need to go fishing with him. Okay. This is, I don't know if your dad fished. I don't know what this is, but I'm getting
All
like,
the
you need,
time.
he did. He fished all the time.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You need to go get a fishing pole. You need to go fishing with your son. You need to go meet him eye to eye. Okay. Like eye to eye. I believe like you're the mom looking down on him. Don't take that as a judgment because you're like physically like looking down on him. I need you to do the best. I need you to be the best. I need you to go figure out how to be a peer to your son. Like this is that idea of like getting on our knees and looking eye to eye with the kids. I know that you don't like mosquitoes and black flies, but buy yourself some goddamn bug dope. Buy yourself some bug dope. Okay. I need you to buy yourself some bug dope. You need to go fishing. Take your dad with you. Uh, it's funny, I just see like a fishing vest. You don't happen to have a dad's fishing vest, do you?
I don't.
Maybe you need to buy your son one, or maybe you need to get one. Maybe you need to go fishing. But here's here is something that I need you to know. You have a certain amount of grains of sand left in your hourglass. You have a certain amount of time left here in this world. You need to go spend time with your son. You need to go spend time with your son. Because you're going to watch him from the world of spirit. You're going to be with him. You're going to be around him, guide him, heal him, do whatever you can. But I need you to go figure out how to find joy with him. Like fishing is something that your dad would have found joy in, the silence, all of it. And I feel, and you don't have to validate this at all, I feel like there is something in you that you want your son to open up to you. Like open up his heart, open up his chest, talk to you, let things out. If you want that, go fishing with him so he can see you as a peer, so he can see you as a friend, not as like a mom figure that's like the bullshit hunter. Okay? Because sometimes we'll keep things from our parents because we don't want to be judged. Sometimes we won't let them know that we're having difficulties because we're held to these exceptional standards. Okay. Your dad is very, very proud of you. You need to know this. He sees you all the time. He sees how you're doing everything you can to be the best for your family. But he needs you to go fishing and he needs you to cut loose a little bit. So the reason why he would have led into this with that whole two magical fruit thing is that we're all taking life too seriously. You know what I mean? Like we have to figure out how to have fun and know joy and laugh and watch like I've never seen this movie, but I think I might look it up. Have you ever seen Blazing Saddles?
I might have watched it a long time. I might have watched it with my dad.
Okay. What I know about that movie is that it's a movie that they would not make today because the humor would be so crass in it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Maybe we're all collectively a little too uptight. You know what I mean? Maybe we're all collectively a little too snooty. I think that, we got to figure out how to find some humor in our life. So I want you to do that too. Also, here's the thing for you. Get those photo albums out and go through them and look at the photos of your dad, look at his accomplishments, look at those old pictures and bring your family around and do that. But anything that makes you grind your teeth, any sort of anxiety that will make you like clench up, you've got to figure out how to get rid of it. You got to figure out how to get rid of it. You need to go fishing. You need to get around some water. You need to get around some nature. That's going to be one of the best avenues for us to have a sense of release. Okay. All right. Also, if because you don't have people in your family or in your home that are just doing Christmas and what have you, at the bare minimum, if you have Christmas ornaments that are family Christmas ornaments, like heirlooms with pictures and all of that, the bare minimum, get those out, put them up every Christmas, do that. And if it would make your heart feel better, Kathy, get them out now. Who says you can't have Christmas ornaments out? Who says you can't have those pictures up? Who says you can't have the tin soldiers up? Who says that? Okay. So thank you for this. Thank you for being here. I've got one more
Thank
person
you.
and then I'm done for the day. But hey, when it comes to fishing season, buy your kid a fishing license, buy your kid a fishing pole, go fishing with him, no matter what. Okay, so there we are. Spotlight off for Kathy. Here's the next one. Is he still here? Okay. So Shane, I see you up in the corner, and I feel like this one is for you. Okay. So I'm gonna go come to you here, my man. Okay. So I'm gonna ask you to unmute yourself because I'm being told just to go right to you. Okay.
How you doing?
Very well. I got a funny question for you.
Okay.
Right. But I'm not asking you this because you're a dude. I'm asking you this because I think that you might be a little similar to me. Well, I was never a scrapper. Were you ever a scrapper?
Like a fighter? Or
Yeah,
like
scrapper.
another scrapper? What's that?
A scrapper, like a scrapper. Here's what I'm getting for you. I'm being pulled to you, and I'm going to ask you to do a thing here. Okay. Remember, like the theme of this is vitamin joy. Okay.
Yeah.
So for you, whether you're angry, whether you're not, what I'm seeing, take everything that I say with a grain of salt. I'm watching you punch a punching bag. Okay.
Okay.
Like it's a good thing. Like
Yeah.
it's a good thing. So I'm going to ask you to put a number in your head on a scale of 1 to 10. How much stress, how much anxiety do you have? You don't have to say it out loud, but I want you to like figure that out for me. You got a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety.
I'm not really a stressful person. Like I try to stay pretty even.
Okay. Got any anger?
Not really.
Okay. I don't know
really
why I'm being
I try
told
not to
this.
hold on to anger.
I love that. Don't do that. But let's say that you do one day have some anger. Okay. And again, there's a reason that I'm going to you, and there's a reason why I have to say this. This is for everybody. This is a collective message for everybody. I think, Shane, you might need a little bit of exercise. Okay. And what I mean by that is this. I think you would benefit from a runner's high. Okay. And this is tough because when we work out or we go running or we punch something like a punching bag or we take a kickboxing course, there's the release of serotonin, dopamines, endorphins, the runner's high. That's what we get. I need everybody here to consider the amount of anger that they have, the amount of fear, worry, anxiety. And Shane, you don't have any, but I'm using you as an example. I think that you might respond well to those physical activities. So, do you have a workout regime? Do you do anything of that nature?
I don't. I do a lot of outside things though. Like I like to hunt and fish and just be at the lake or
Okay. So, a lot of the things that I've been talking about here are things that you've been doing. Go out in the woods, go out fishing, connect to nature, do all of that. That might be one of the reasons why you don't have a lot of anger.
Yeah.
But let's you get to a point where you have anger, where you have frustration. I'm literally trying to tell people here that it's okay to find a punching bag. Don't break your wrist, don't break your hands, but go hit something.
Yeah.
There's a reason why I have to end it with this. There is a release in the physical. So if we are frustrated, or how about this? For people that don't want to hit things, that people don't want to be aggressive, scream into a pillow. Get a pillow, put your head into it, scream into it. Okay? Like scream into it. Can I ask you, Shane, when you were a kid, were you the kind of kid that was like, get outside and I'll tell you when dinner's ready?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely.
Okay. So maybe this isn't advice that I need to give you. Maybe you are the advice I need to give others.
Yeah.
Moving our body. How much are we collectively stressed out and full of anxiety and stress because we're not moving our body, that we're not taking the walks, that we're not getting those those things. We need to move our body. We're physical beings. We have all of the dopamine, serotonin, endorphins available to us. Nature and trees increase that. Waterways increase that. Physical activity, martial arts increases that. I want to also ask you, Shane, when you were a kid, did you have a back porch?
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
We moved around a lot, but there was always porches. So.
Always porches. No. Hold on. Here. I want to see if you can specifically remember a back porch with a clothesline.
I don't remember.
Maybe a backyard with a clothesline. I'm not sure what this is.
I think my grandmother had one at her house.
Here's a funny thing that I've got for you too. I know that I keep asking you about anxiety and stress and anger, and I love the fact that you say I don't get a lot of it. Do you have any stress, anxiety, or anger around your mother's passing?
My mother's alive.
Your mother's alive?
My
Okay.
grandmother passed.
Your grandmother passed. Okay. So is she somebody that like raised you?
Is she what?
Did she raise you? Was she a big part of your life?
She was. That when I was small, yes.
Is there anything frustrating about that story?
Uh,
Or do you not have a healthy relationship with death? Are you mad that she's gone? There's all sorts of things that I'm getting, and I'm most likely running out of steam here. But here's what I want you to do. I need you, like, I love that you have no anger. I love that you have no stress. I don't think there's many people on this call or this session that could relate to that. But if there is any in you, if there's regret or shame or guilt or any anger or frustration that you have around the death of a woman, around the loss of a woman, around the loss of somebody you love, go out and process it, whether it is through walking, whether it is screaming in the woods, whether it's screaming into a pillow, whether it is just going fishing. I can't get out of my image. I can't get out of my head the image of you hitting a punching bag as a good thing, not a bad thing.
Yeah.
And again, you're one of the very few men on this session. I think that it's okay for us, as long as we're not hurting other people, for us to lash out physically. Here's something that can work for some people, might not work for others because it might increase it instead of diminish it. Have people heard of the rage rooms? Do you guys know what a rage room is? Like you go in, you break glass, you break plates, there's like a baseball bat, you put on the safety glasses. Okay. If everybody here is walking around and they have a collective sense of like rage, whether it's national stuff or personal stuff or regret or what have you, go move your body and get it out of your body. Okay? The Shane, the question, okay. When I was telling, I think it was, who was it? I think it was Becky to have corn on the cob cookout. I don't know if you remember corn on the cob with this grandmother, the back porch, with the clothesline, the anything like that. But what I need you to do is I need you to plan with your loved ones, your siblings, kids, uncles, aunts, parents, what have you. I want you to get together with your loved ones this summer and have a cookout, have a barbecue.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm seeing the big pot of corn on the cob.
Okay.
Okay. Is that something that you enjoy?
I love to cook, so.
Okay. Then get together with your loved ones and have a big old cookout, have a big barbecue with your loved ones. And if 3 months from now you have a lot of anger and you don't know what to do with it, find a punching bag or scream into a pillow or go take a kickboxing course or go move your body in a way that's healthy for you. Okay. So this is the vitamin joy session. We're supposed to find joy in that. And I think we're supposed to end on that. And that, take this away, everybody. Don't keep your anger or your frustration inside. If you can transform it into something useful, do that. Put it into your art, put it into your loved ones, go for a walk, do something like that. But if nothing else is working, Go walk in a treadmill, go run on a treadmill, go take care of your body and get it out of yourself. So it doesn't turn into a cancer. It doesn't turn into an ulcer. It doesn't turn into a neck ache. It doesn't turn into anything like that. So make sure that you are taking care of yourself on all the levels, physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. And if we have those 4 levels, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual, that also means that the message about vitamin joy is applying to physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. Those 4 levels, we should be getting joy on all of those levels. Okay. Everybody here that I've connected to, you're all exceptional. Everybody here that I've sat with today, thank you for bringing your energy. This will be online in a very short period of time, but I am all done. And I thank you. I'm going to be doing this again from a week from Wednesday. All my love to everybody here. Take care of yourselves. And do me this favor, follow your homework assignments and go get your vitamin joy. Okay? All right. Much love to you. We'll see you next time.
Yeah.